to all the students in the third lecture from the second unit, that is on social responsibility of management, or we can say the corporate social responsibility. The topic is meant for the subject RAS 601 Industrial Management, and the subject is meant for the BTech 6th semester students from all the branches. In this presentation, the topics which I am going to cover are as what the social responsibility is, why it is nowadays popularized that organizations are being socially responsible, different types of social responsibility initiations that are taken by the corporates, common CSR actions that are taken place by industries, arguments for and against the social involvements of business along with the society and development by them, importance of corporate social responsibility, and followed by the advantages of socially responsible firm. To start with the presentation, first we'll see about the introduction of social responsibility and the meaning of corporate social responsibility. We know that social responsibility is not a new idea. Social responsibility is very old idea as far as Indian industries are concerned, that they people here in India, we people, or we can say the industries, always provides kind of help. Help to what? To whom? Help in the sense, in terms of help, when we talk, they are providing their money for the social causes, for the religious causes, for the welfare of the society, and etc. and so on. The idea of socially responsible firm got a major impetus with the book Social Responsibility of the Businessman by Howard R. Bone. Internationally, in the countries, in the developed countries, when we talk about the US, UK, or the capitalist countries, where their CSR was not earlier so popular, but with the book of the businessman Howard R. Bone, they suggest that the business managers are bound to pursue those policies, to make those decisions, or to follow those guidelines which are desired in terms of objectives and values of our society. Each and every business firm should take care of at least their stakeholders who believe in the firm, who not only associated with the firm as an employee, as a customer, as a vendor, but other stakeholders like government, investors, they should also affected with the policies of the companies. And so the company should provide kind of facilities through their actions which impart the values in the society about the company, and also create a kind of image, a brand image, a goodwill, brand loyalty towards the concern. Social responsibility can be defined in the words of Keith Davis as the businessman's decision and action taken to reason at least partially beyond the firm's direct economic or technical interest. In the words of Andrew, by social responsibility we mean intelligent and objective concern for the welfare of society that restrains individual and corporate behavior from ultimately destructive activities, no matter how immediately profitable, and leads in the direction of positive contribution to the human betterment, variously as the latter may be defined. Another definition that can be quoted for the social responsible firm as CSR as an institutionalized corporate practices and behavior driven by the acceptance of moral obligation as well as accountability by the management for the consequences of the corporate activities for all the stakeholders and society at large. Nowadays, we see that when any kind of natural calamity or any type of calamity takes place, such as earthquake, flood, then number of concerns, number of industrialists helps in the weaker section of the society, helps those who are victim in that particular calamity, and but this remains up to the calamity, the duration of calamity only. However, CSR talks about the continuous fashion, to serve the people in the society at the continuous fashion. Now the question arises that if we want to serve the people other than the employees or consumers by providing them the need, the what they need, why the firm should be socially responsible? So we'll see why the socially responsible, why this concept is needed. The big question is, if the industrialists will do so, then what the government will do? And whether the government is not responsible for the social development? Yes, government is responsible, but only government cannot provide all such developments. Only government is not responsible for sustainable development. In the countries like India where mixed economy is there and we have the mixed economy, then here if we talk about the development, wholesale development at the end of government only, then government cannot ensure it. Yes, they can do so, but for that idealism stage is required, like where no corruption, no cheating, no malpractices takes place within the society. However, it is 100% it is not possible to acquire such benefic policies by each and every industrialist. And so there is a need and to the social responsibility firm, the firms who can bear these social responsibilities in terms of not only developing a particular society, a particular region where they are serving, where they are working, but also the nearby regions also. Next thing comes into the mind that when we talk about the need of the social responsibility at the end of company, what they will get, whether they are not meant for charity purpose, they also working for the profit making concern, and since they are the responsible firms who fulfill their taxes and other burdens over the government, and so we cannot expect that they will do some charity in a kind of social responsibility in the name of social responsibility on continuous basis. For that, obviously fund is required, resources are required. From where those resources will procure? Obviously the government helps a lot to the social responsible firms, and so it's a give and take kind of situation where industry, and for industry it's a win-win situation. Why it is win-win situation? Just because it helps to reduce the social cost and to acquire a kind of recognition in the market as a socially responsible firm. And not only the recognition, by doing so, by doing such kind of activities, company will also can enhance their image in the eye of the government and societal sectors, the factors that are associated with the society. They can increase their profit, they can build their brand value, increase their brand value, and obviously they can satisfy the stakeholders in terms of providing better dividend, better profits, better share value of shares, and they also get the benefit from the government in terms of rebates in the form of to easily acquire acquisition of the land, to expand their plants, to to work on their uh, new plan, if any, and many more. Now, the question arises, in what sense the corporates can serve the society? There are six types of corporate society initiatives. Like when we talk about corporate philanthropy, the companies donate for the charity, including cash, in terms of cash, goods, services, and sometimes via corporate foundation, like Bill Gates. Bill Gates create a foundation along with the name, along with his wife Melinda, and he uh, announced a big funds for the poor people, poor children's education and all. And next type of initiative that may be taken in terms of community volunteering, in which companies organize volunteer activities, sometimes while an employee receive pay or pro bono work on behalf of non-profit organization. Then volunteers are invited to serve on behalf of company, and they not only becomes the brand ambassador of the company, but also get a kind of satisfaction to serve the poor people, the required people, the people to whom the things are required. Another area where the companies are taking the initiatives as socially responsible business practices. They usually who are corporate socially responsible practices ethically in order to produce the products which appeal a customer segment. Like we know Salman Khan's Being Human. It's an NGO which works for the preserve and protection of the animals, and they appeal to be a vegetarian, to use the vegetarian products only, and so on. Next type of initiation that a community, a particular corporate can take the initiative as causes promotion and activism. These are the company funded advocacy campaigns which are used, which are the purpose of such programs is to promote the policies of the company to the common people, and and take the initiative of any event, like to arrange the fund for a particular mission through either game, through either uh, marathon, etc. Next is cause related marketing. Cause related marketing is initiated by providing the donation in name of charity based on the product sales. Like we have gone through the advertisement of Avla or Shanti Nihar Avla oil, in which they just provide, they just marketed their product like that ki uh, use our product, and the 1% of our profit or 2% of our profit goes for the child's education. Such type of marketing campaigns also helps to recognize the company in the market, that the company is doing something for the welfare of the society and societal members. Another type of marketing campaigns may be related to corporate social marketing, in which companies funded behavior changes the campaign. And when these things are takes on the higher level, big level, then we can say corporate social marketing. With these initiatives, number of companies are taken some common actions in order to protect the environment, in order to protect the factors which are affecting our lifestyle. And these factors are, some of the factors are compulsory taken by the government also, and government also provide a kind of guidelines or advisory to the corporates to follow, to work and follow the rules for such areas like environment, for the betterment of environment, for to enhancing the human capital, like to decrease the differentiation among the uh, different segments of people in terms of their purchase parity or their their income, etc. Another action that common action the that comes under the CSR is the involvement of community as a whole, in order to protect, in order to preserve the rights of the people. And some kind of ethical marketing also comes under the common CSR actions. Like here in the slide, you can see that environmental sustainability is the first and foremost common action that is taken by the industries. In industries, they are more concerned about to the water they are using, the natural resources they are using, and they are polluting nowadays number of cities, and so their responsibility increases in order to provide the in order to provide the resources back to the earth, you can see. Like by recycling of water treatment, water management, use of renewable energy, reusable materials, greener supply chains, and by reducing the papers and adopting leadership in energy and environmental design, building standards, etc. All these actions represent the sustainability towards environmental concern. Next, we can see that human capital enhancement. To enhance the human capital, the companies provided additional resources for capacity building of local employees. They are providing the technical as well as professional qualifications and skills to the workers so that they become trained, and they they can be the part of the mainstream. And next is the community involvement. This can include the raising money for the local charities, providing volunteers, sponsoring local events, employing local workers, and sponsoring the programs like marathon and all, supporting local economic growth by providing the heart bazaar and direct purchasing from the farmers, and direct online businesses. Through that they can serve the community in a better way, and also benefited to the farmers in the particular region. And also they promote the fair trade practices through their actions. Ethical marketing is the term that companies are ethically marketing, if they are ethically concerned with the rights of the consumers, then they are placing a high value on the consumer's mind and respecting and earn lot of respect from the people in the society. The argument that are provided to be a social responsible company, these arguments are stated as the company should be socially responsible in order to assess the need of the public. Businesses are It is suggested to the business families to receive a social responsibility as a charter from society, and consequently has to respond the need of society for the betterment of the society. The next argument in the favor of socially responsible firm is The improvement of the There's a requirement of continuous improvement of the social environment benefited for both business as well as society, and so society will gain the better neighborhood and employment opportunities, whereas businesses benefits from a better opportunity. They can get a new idea to start their venture. They can diversify their business and increase their workforce, and by this way they can ensure the holistic development approach also. Next argument that is provided in terms of to be a socially responsible company, as social involvement discourages additional government regulations and interventions, and the result is greater benefit and more flexibility in decision making for the businesses, because government has also provided some kind of facilities to those concerns who are socially responsible. They provide flexibility to those concerns, and business had a great deal of power, and which is reasoned should be accompanied by the equal amount of responsibility. If the responsibility is shared by the government along with the uh, big corporate houses, then obviously it's good for the health of corporate houses. Modern society is an interdependent system, and the internal activities of the enterprise have an impact on the external environment, and so the business firms should involve in such kind of activities, so that they enhance or improve the the standard of living, the betterment of the society and betterment of the country and as a earth, and for the earth itself. And social involvement may be the interest of stakeholders also, just because stakeholders also get a kind of appreciation as well as a kind of satisfaction that they are joined with the socially responsible firms. Problems that become profits. Yes, if the opportunities are identified in terms of identification of problem, in terms of solution of the problems, then they considered can they considered as an idea and opportunity, and for that, if the company comes up with the solution, then it will be a profitable for the company itself. Again, the next argument in favor of CSR is social involvement creates a favorable public image, and business should try to solve the problems which other institutions haven't able to solve. And if the company is having a novel idea, then they should go for their idea and they should work on it. Business has resources, specifically business should use its talented managers and specialists as well as its capital resources to solve some of the societal problems. It is better to prevent social problems through business involvement than to cure them. And it is easier to help the hardcore unemployment and than to cope with the social unrest. These are the points they make for the favor of socially responsible. Next, we'll see the points that are made against the socially responsible firm, that the primary task of business is to maximize the profit, but and not to involve in such type of activities. For such type of activities, government is there. This is the first and foremost point provided by the one who criticized the social responsibility approach. And the final analysis, society must pay the social involvement of the business through higher prices. Yes, it can be seen that number of companies provide initially the service, they serve the society for free of cost up to a certain extent, but for that they have their hidden agenda, as the goodwill, the people are associated with the company, they use their malpractice. And next is the social environment can weaken the international balance of payments, and the cost of social programs and the reasoning goes would have to be added to the price of the product. Obviously, another point that is quoted against the CSR, against a company to be a CSR company, as obviously the firms are profit making. Firms are meant for profit making, and if they use their funds for the social development, from where they will get the money. So obviously they will charge more prices to their from their consumers who purchase their products. And this is again a big point against the social responsible companies. Next is the business has enough power and additional social environment would further increase its power and influence. Yes, of course, some people say is that in a capitalist economy, especially where if the firm becomes social responsible and get some kind of additional power and influence, they may misuse particular power. And next point that provide against the social responsible companies is the business people lack the social skill to deal with the problems of the society. The training and experiences is with the economic matter only, and their skills not be the pertinent to the social problems. However, as as we all know that people, we all are the social animals, and so we cannot think so that people who are working in the organization, they are not having any kind of experience, or they not feel the social, how to socially manage the things. But yes, the they are more concerned with the economic matters. This is another point, that there is a lack of accountability of the businesses to society. Yes, of course, due to the reason, just because of the fact that business, to establish a business, the profit making and to maximize the, or to optimize the resources is the first and foremost aim, and not to serve the society. Yes, next is and last point that is quoted against the social responsible company is there's no complete support for the involvement in the social action. Yes, of course, and when we see the government usually initiate the those people who can serve the society by themselves, and not with the help of the government, because government's officials are having a kind of lethargic approach towards the development of the society and societal sectors. Next and important topic is in this regard of in this topic is importance of corporate social responsibility. We can see that CSR helps the business organization in order to improve their images, in order to improve their brand value, in order to minimize the negative impact of the business activities, and create wealth and values for its shareholders as well as community as a whole. And last but not least, you can see that there are a number of advantages to be a CSR company. So to be a company, it is better to be a CSR company, so that the company can increase their loyalty in terms of loyalty of employees, as well as their retention in the organization. They'll get the customer loyalty also. They will get the reputation and goodwill, and it reduces the regulatory oversight from the end of government for those concerned who are involved in social responsibility. And their values, market value, also stabilize somewhere, and they enjoy the increased productivity in their plant. And so it is suggested for a company again to be a CSR company rather than only a company. By doing so, by such practices, we can see that number of companies, like we have an example of Tata, Birla, Reliance Industries, and many more, who are involved in social responsibility. They not only enjoy the trust at the end of people, and as well as government also, but they also enjoy the big profits, the big margins in the in the market. Their brand value is more. Their stake in the business, their stake in a particular section uh, is more. They covered almost a huge market, you can say. That's all. Now, in this presentation, I used Dr. Ravi Shankar Santiabanga's book for the reference purpose. Thank you, students, for your kind